Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone is doing okay. And I have a topic today. It is hopefully something that we can think about, maybe contemplate on, something that we can do to make sure that we make the most of our Dean and that we are better. And by better, I mean happier and more fulfilled. So basically, I'll get started. This video today is on how to protect our hearts. So basically, the way I understand it, the heart is basically the center of everything when it comes to Islam. What your heart is telling you is usually what you have to be very careful about, and you want your heart to be pure, clean, and free from things that we don't want, like hate or pride or these kinds of things, right? So basically, I'll get started by saying that our heart, this muscle here, is the most sensitive thing. We can go through extremes in the way we feel based on reactions to the things that our hearts are connected to. We can be extremely happy one second, extremely upset the next second, and this is basically our reaction to the affairs of this world. So how can we make sure that our hearts don't go through turmoil or through strife or through unhappiness, dis-ease, if you've heard of people say this before? How can we stop being upset, I guess? So my advice here is to attach yourself to God. And when we have a good sincerity, when our happiness is not determined by the events of this world, we basically are always happier. We still do feel like happiness, sadness, anger, any other kind of emotion, but it's not as severe. And this is better because a lot of things in this present world are temporary, whereas our hereafter is something that, inshallah, we will have for forever, right? So how do we do this? Prayer, fasting, charity. Those are pretty obvious ones, but we need to be aware that we can't just make dua. We can't just have a good intention and say, okay, I'm going to become more sincere. It's the way you get to this stage is by doing the right actions, and this can be praying properly, doing sincere charity, and fasting as well. These are the things that we can do that really build our connection with Allah. And it's like a formula. You just follow it and you get results. So that's the first point that I put down. And the second thing, how to protect our hearts. I've heard this said a lot by many sheikhs, many online sheikhs. Never despair. So my understanding is despair is something that happens when we don't know about Allah's mercy. So when we don't really remember that God is Ghafur, Rahim, Al-Malik, he owns everything, he knows everything, and he knows what's in here. He knows if we're sincere. So if we've ever made a mistake, it's not hard for God to see past it, so long as we keep to our duty, and so long as we basically do everything that we should do as well. But in the event that something bad happens, just remember that that Allah is the most merciful, right? So never limit this. This is a big mistake that you can make. And yeah, if anything ever happens, if you are quick to rectify your actions and get back onto the guidelines of Islam, it's all good, right? So don't despair, because Allah is the most merciful, right? Now, the third thing, how to protect our hearts. Now, I want to say, beware of going to extremes. There's one extreme where we are far too rigid and saying we have to do everything according to Sharia, and we have to be like perfect Muslims. That's one extreme. And the other extreme is by saying, look, I'm not going to do anything because I don't have to, right? Now, when we are too controlling, we may restrict our the goodness that is in here. We shouldn't try to, first of all, restrict ourselves too much, and then the other side of that is imposing these restrictions on others at the same time. I suppose putting the restrictions on yourself, it takes wisdom to know where the line is, but you don't want to oppress yourself, right? And as well, the other thing, you don't want to be unkind to others as well, because everyone is essentially struggling to do as much as they can, and we are not their judge, right? We're not. That position belongs to Allah. So that's being too controlling and too liberal. Our hearts are just going to go haywire if we do anything that we want and hope for Allah's mercy. Now, this might seem a bit contradictory, but the thing is, this is not what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to try to get away with as much sin as we can and then say, oh, well, God will forgive me. God will forgive you if you're sincere. If you think God will be forgiving just because you're a special person, I guess a tough wake-up call is that you're not. And just be careful, right? So that's another thing. And another way that we can protect our hearts from becoming out of control or too attached to this present life, or too extremely attached to our religion, have a spiritual practice away from the mosque. So it's probably the best thing to do, to go to a mosque. It is one thing that you can do to build up your religion. It's a really good thing to do. But on top of that, if you can, do some kind of special spiritual practice of your own in your own time. Now, this can be reading a few pages of the Quran, maybe giving some charity, maybe being nice to your parents, just small little things. And this really reminds us of the importance of things like kindness and goodness and sincerity as well. So when we do this, what I believe is that it really it's kind of like a workout for your heart. It's saying, I'm going to try and put some more goodness in here and do some more good things. And it really does have an effect on you. It makes you so much more peaceful, right? So that is another thing. Now I've written again the same point that I've written already, and that is to avoid the extremes, and in doing so, avoid certain spiritual diseases, such as arrogance and hasad. So I know that these things are very bad, and we're not perfect. So some of us may, we all do at times. We all can be a bit arrogant. We can be a bit what's the word? Yeah. We can have elements of hasad as well. But the thing is, if we keep a lid on it somehow, if we can control our animosity and try to become more human, I guess, this is a big test for us, is to uphold the station that God has given us and be as good as we can. And how can we avoid these things? Because it's really easy to become hateful. It's easy to become boastful, whatever. But how do we fix this if this is an issue, right? Now I have one answer, and that is to read the Quran every day, if only for just a little bit, 1 or 2 pages. And if we can do this, it really kind of separates the rest of the world away from us, and it really connects us straight to the word of Allah. And I believe that it's like a medicine. So it maybe if your spiritual state is bad, just keep trying every day. Do a tiny little bit. Don't overburden yourself, because it'll become too hard, and don't do nothing, because that's even worse. But just do a little bit every day, and you'll find over time, you'll find amazing blessing and peace in such a practice. And it is a cure. It teaches so many things. It teaches everything, right? So that's another thing. And one way to protect or cure or fix our hearts is to do acts of goodness. So I guess when I say acts of goodness, I mean little things that other people don't notice, things that you do purely to feel better. And this isn't, when I say feel better, I'm not saying drugs, alcohol, gambling. That's not feeling better. That's a short-term fix. Feeling better, I mean like a when you just feel better. That doesn't make sense. When you get a feel-good sense within yourself because you've done something good and you've upheld a a sense of goodness about yourself, and it helps your things like self-image, and it helps you to just realize that in the sense of whatever bad that we may have done or may be doing, that there's still a goodness about us, and we can still feel better even if we've done anything wrong. So do acts of goodness, and this reminds us of God's mercy upon those who we are doing these acts for, if it's to give charity to a homeless person, or take care of someone's dog, or anything, just something small, and try. If these opportunities arise, jump on them, and if they aren't around and you want to do something to heal this part of yourself, just seek it out. You can go on a charity website, or it's the world is your oyster, right? So this is a good thing that we can do. I believe if we do just a few of these things, but more often than not, it not only makes the world a better place, but it helps us to feel good about ourselves too. And the last thing, be careful who your intimate friends are. I don't mean intimate like your romantic partners. I mean your close companions. Now, the thing is, and this is a very harsh reality of life, if you spend time with someone, you are going to become more like them. They are not going to become more like you. So if you have bad friends, if you have bad influences in your life, and you know that they're not good, you are going to take on their characteristics, whether you like it or not. And if they, let's say, have a bad character or a bad opinion of God or anything bad about them, you can't overpower that. You can't become more righteous and hope that they're going to catch on. It's contagious, really. So be really careful who your close friends are, and this will help you to keep a good opinion of God, and to help you stay straight on your religion. So yeah, that's that point. And yeah, that's all I want to say for today. How to protect our hearts. And I hope that this has helped anyone. If it has, then good. And otherwise, yeah, I don't know. But if it has helped, then I really, really hope that that it has. So thank you very much, and stay tuned for more.